Oh, what is up, T.O.Gs? Oh, we're gonna go in front of this car. Just because they're gonna have to slow down for this speed bump, and I'm not. Oh, what's going on? It is fall, if you can tell by the trees changing colors. It is seasonably warm today, and so I thought I would get out while we're in between some weather fronts, some rain. We're in between rain, so I thought I would get out. Right? Thank the rain gods. Thank the higher power for sending rain, because boy, were we in a bad drought here in Northern California, all of California, and probably more than just California, up and down the West Coast. We needed that rain, so thank goodness we got it. But what is going on, my friends? We're out here today, and I've got a lot of content that I recorded ahead of time, but just to kind of give you a date stamp on this is today's November 11th. Because I've recorded so much content in the past, it's been a while since I've recorded anything. Even though, you know, I'm on the bike all the time, I haven't recorded anything in a while, and so here I am out on the bike, and I wanted to kind of give you guys some updates, not just on myself, but on my motorcycles, which I'm sure you guys are much more interested in than me if you follow my channel. As you know, I ride the 2015 KTM Super Duke R, which is the bike that we're on right now, and I usually also ride my 2002 Sportster 1200R. It's the 83 that upgraded to the 1200. That's why we call it the 1200R. And that bike right now is out of commission. It's a big bummer. You know, I like to get out on both bikes, have a little variety. You know, I love my Sportster. It's so much fun to ride. It's a head turner, and you know, it's a bummer. It's got a leak. I'm trying to trace where the leak is coming from. It's not an oil leak, it's a fuel leak, and so it's a big deal. I had just replaced the choke cable on it, and everything was running well for a while, and then a few months ago I noticed that it was leaking fuel, and so you know, haven't had the time to put into getting that fixed. And so what has happened is that even though it starts and it runs and everything, it's not really rideable because of the leak. And I'm kind of in this position now where, you know, my schedule is so busy. If you haven't noticed, I did miss a video here and there in the last few months, which is something I just don't do. I don't do it, and I don't do it very often. If I do, it's kind of at the end of the year, when things, you know, it's the holidays and you got vacations and things are busy. But just life has gotten difficult for me to maintain my channel as I typically have for the past 4 years. The channel's 4 years old now, and if you've been following, then you know how consistent I usually am with posting or publishing videos. So appreciate all of you who have been following. Probably not for the length of my channel's been up, but a lot of you have, and I do appreciate you. But so it's been a bummer, and what I am is that I'm at a crossroads here with the Sportster. It's an older bike. I tried, because I thought the leak had something to do with the carburetor, to go and get a new carburetor, and they were saying you just can't get new parts for this bike because it's almost 20 years old now. And so it's just in this weird situation where I'm like, you know, if it's going to be this hard to find parts, and I'm aware of eBay, the possibility of getting used parts on eBay or you know, Craigslist or whatever, but I just don't like doing that. I like getting new parts. I like knowing, you know, that the part has been used or how hard it's been used. And so for me, I'm kind of at this crossroads where I'm considering selling the bike, trading it in. You know, I don't think I'm going to get much for it, especially with the leak and everything, but I'm not sure. It's put me in this situation where I've kind of reassessed not my riding goals necessarily, but how I ride, where I ride, and when I ride. I know that one of the things that you've known, if you've watched the channel in the past, you know that I've been wanting to get out for a track day, especially here with the Super Duke. And what I've found is, as much as I love riding the Super Duke all over the place, I just don't think that I have the time or the resources, the money to dedicate to getting out to the track, especially getting out to the track on a regular basis. And so that puts me in a situation where this is like a race bike, right? I mean, for all intents and purposes, this bike is ready to be out on the track. And so even though I've enjoyed the crap out of this bike for almost 3 years now, coming up on 3 years, I believe, I'm just in this place where I'm trying to make a decision. If I'm going to trade in or sell the Sportster, and I'm only going to have one bike, I am trying to figure out whether I want a more utilitarian bike, a bike that has more utility, a bike that I can do more things on. And when I say more things, that I can take for longer trips, that I can, throw some saddlebags on maybe an adventure bike, and get out on a more comfortable riding position on a more comfortable motorcycle. Now, I've ridden this bike about 200, 300 miles in one day, and that's fine, but I'm feeling it, and I do feel it in the coming days. And so these are the things that I'm kind of mulling over. This is not a big rush decision. I'm still not even sure whether or not I'm going to sell the Sportster, but these are the choices that I'm facing right now and trying to figure out the future of me riding, and also the future of the motorcycles that I will ride. And I've been riding a lot of bikes. If you've been watching the channel, of all the test rides that I've been doing. So that actually doesn't have anything to do with this decision. I know sometimes when people go out and ride lots of bikes, they've got this itch to get a new bike, right, to try something new. That's not what this is about. This is more about long-term decisions of how I ride, and the styles and the way that I want to ride in the future, and and weighing on having an older bike. For me, like I said, because of the time commitment that goes into having an older bike, fixing it up and maintaining it, and then hunting down parts and all this time, it's nice that I have another bike, because if I didn't have another bike, what in the world? That's dangerous. That could have been really bad for me. Damage to a car, but for me, that could have been really bad. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think in the comments. Obviously, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, but I definitely like hearing feedback from you guys. If you were in my position with an older bike, and not getting to ride it as often because it needs to be maintained, and not having the time to maintain it either. I'd like to do all the work on my own bike, but that again, we're talking about time, and it's time that I'm finding I don't have as much anymore of, and so it's life, and things happen, and I'm just trying to figure things out, and letting you guys help with the decision, and letting you guys help me, maybe put me in the right direction. If there's an adventure bike out there that you've been watching the channel, I haven't test rode yet, let me know if there's a bike out there that I should try. I'm not really looking at a touring bike. I don't really have that kind of money to spend, even if I did trade this bike and the Sportster. I don't think I want to spend upwards of like $25,000, $30,000 on a motorcycle. I say that now, and then who knows what's going to happen, but I'm looking more adventure bike, and just a bike that's going to put me in a nice riding position, to be comfortable long distances. And this bike has I think a 4.5, maybe close to 5 gallon tank. We're gonna need at least that much too if I'm gonna be riding for longer distances. But guys, that's all I got for you today. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up down there, which is the like button, and if you haven't already, smash that subscribe button to get some nice fall colors here going as we ride through. This is one of my favorite roads to ride on during the season, because all the leaves are changing and it looks really pretty. If you're out there riding, please be safe, be kind to one another. My name is Eric, I'm that one guy, and I am out.